I'm humbled by your presence here and I appreciate it with the bottom of my heart. We are gathered here for one purpose today, which is to have lunch. But before that, we will do a few things also. I have a request to make, and please keep your phones on silent and don't try to look at your phone too much. बिकॉज सबकी मम्मी ने कहा है आप ऐसा करेंगे तो खाना नहीं मिलेगा. तो let's begin. The sacrifices and hopes of my family are embodied in this book. Without them, I wouldn't be here, and their sacrifice have made this book possible. So I thank my mother, my brother, my father with all my heart, and I'm blessed to have such a family, and I love them. As you can see, I have placed the prologue of our days on the chairs and I hope you have read it all, but I will recite it along as the initiation process of the day. Hello, let's begin. Prologue. I have become death, the destroyer of worlds. Lord Krishna. Gaza, July 8th, 2014. Ringa Ringo Roses. The dusty wind blew gently, fashioning a haze. 5 giggling kids were holding hands, moving in circles, happily playing in the empty parking lot of an old 3-4 apartment building in Khan Yunis. They all belonged to the same family. Their uneven heights made the joining of hands asymmetrical. Their names were Muhammad, Abbas, Ali, Fatima, and Hannah. From all the destructions of the never-ending conflict, the United Nations had undertaken the responsibility of Gaza Strip by establishing schools and shelters. These children studied in one such school. It was hot as the gates of hell, yet the innocent kids acted indifferently towards the weather. They couldn't care less, they just wanted to laugh and play. They had one thing in common. Their fathers were Hamas militants. The chorus of their laughter echoed in the empty space. Idhab Asra, said Hannah. They did. Fatima couldn't take this pen. She let go of her hands and ambled outside the compound bare feet. She peered at her playmates from a distance, smiling. Something caught her attention. A quaking noise from up above. Cupping her eyes with her hands, she looked up. Her jaw fell open. Ashes, ashes, we all fall down. A missile came plummeting from the cloudlit sky, hitting the roof of the apartment building. The kids, unbeknown to what had happened actually, fell as the ground shook violently at the moment of impact. The nose-cone missile pierced the roof, breaking the structure into 2 halves. As it blew, the whole building collapsed in a matter of seconds. The smoke from the debris rose 100 feet above. The force of explosion was so massive that it threw Fatima afar and shattered every window within a 100-meter radius. She collided headfirst, breaking her neck. She died on the spot. What was home to many a few seconds ago was now a heap of crushed bricks and dead bodies. There were no survivors. The kids who were playing with smiles on their faces a moment ago were now stuck lifeless inside the rubble. The war had begun. The poem we read just now, Ringa Ringa Roses, is a popular one, I guess. Everybody has heard about it. But we don't know the dark origins of this poem. It belongs to one of the darkest pandemics of this planet, the Great Plague. History lives on in songs and stories. A song of death became the rhyme of school children, identical to the fate of children in the Gaza Strip. They grew up wrapped in death, destruction, and indoctrination. Who will they become? The children in Gaza don't have the life we do, a fair education, a fair childhood. हमें एक पार्टी के अगले दिन सफाई करने में इतना आलस आ जाता है। सोचिए युद्ध में टूटे हुए मकान और जमीन पे बिखरा हुआ खून कैसे साफ होता होगा। A child can learn any language if taught. Similarly, they can be taught to love or hate. What we choose to teach our children defines the future of humanity. Our Days, a survival odyssey, is my effort to show you the glimpse in the life of the Gaza Strip, the pain, the hunger, the bullets and the bombs. And one more thing. Hope. Hope that you will survive. You will live to love another day. When I attended the sniper training to learn about warfare and its technicalities, I discovered more than I was looking for. Holding a rifle for the first time and taking aim made me feel so powerful, a power that I never felt before. Then I realized one thing. Standing afar from your target, taking aim and pulling just a trigger can detach you from the guilt of your actions. You will not feel guilty for killing someone because it's so effortless through a gun to kill one. We have forgotten to hope. We believe so strongly in fear. But why can't we believe in ourselves for once? I hope after reading Our Days, you will find the courage to live for a better today and help humanity. But remember to be detached while doing so. We are capable of performing both the darkest and the brightest of acts in our lives. Our Days, a survival odyssey, is about both. The book consists of 51 episodic chapters and it is about 86,000 words long, which consists about 322 pages in the book. Each chapter is preceded by a quote around which the chapter revolves. The book will follow three narratives. The three narratives are as follows. The first narrative is of David, Emma and George, who are deployed unarmed into the Gaza territory and have to survive along with the refugees. These are the characters who will show you the truth, what happens in a war. The second perspective or the second narration is about the CIA and the United Nations. We have seen what goes on in a war, but we have not seen what goes around in the offices of diplomatic agencies who are trying to quell the war, providing supplies and gathering intel. I tried to do my best to show my readers how the paperwork goes on, how the diplomatic and bureaucratic process goes on, and how crucial are they in saving lives. The third perspective I wrote was about where my characters are not present because the war is going on all over the place and my characters cannot be all over the place. But I needed to tell the truth in a way that the war is covered in its entirety. So I wrote some short stories and snippets which depicted the war and the plight of it, including the refugees, including the terrorists, including the children in Israel who are also being traumatized by the war. Apart from this story, I try to write a trove of knowledge. You will read the truth about the final moments before the nuclear bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki and how communication plays a role in war. I collected this information from the CIA archives. It is verified by the CIA, and you will get to know when you read the book what happened before the Nagasaki and Hiroshima bombing. What moments led to the decision of one of the darkest acts in human history. And now I will thank my friends for being there for me through thick and thin. Abhishek, Amit, Anuj, Praveen, Himanshu, Ayushu couldn't be here, Baljit, Shobhit, Vedant, Siddharth, Soumyadeep, Rensi, all these guys, if I'm forgetting someone's name, please pardon me. These guys are like brothers to me and fought along with me in this 6 years journey, and it was never a doubt in their mind that I will do it or not. They always said I will reach here, and today I am here. I thank my friends with all my heart. Thank you to Mr. Mahen Singh Khichi for arranging such a great media conversations, and I thank him with all my heart. Thank you to everyone for coming here. I thank some more people who cannot be here today. Mr. Amit Shukla, my mentor, the founder of Coots, Mrs. Anumaya Rodela, his wife, and Pavas Bhaskar, my oldest friend. My parents and my brother, the prince and the princess, and the light of the sun. They have put more efforts in this novel than I have. If you need bravery, good, read this book. If you need adventure, good. Our Days, A Survival Odyssey is the perfect book for you. And if you are not going to read it, please find someone who can read, who will read, and recommend it to them. Just tell them to read the first page, and I promise you they won't be disappointed. The cycle of life demands us to change. Change your pain into your endurance. Change your hate into love. Change your anger into forgiveness. Change your life through your energy, empathy, and experience, but never through fear. I believe our demands are so simple in life: to be loved and to be accepted. And to inspire love and acceptance, I announce that I will send a message on one thing I found positive about each of my friends and request them to do the same for their friends. To conclude my speech, I will recite a poem which I wrote in the book. It's called as Absence. Absence of heart is apathy. Absence of words is longing. Absence of tears is despair. Absence of fear is insanity. Absence of care is judgment. Absence of culture is decadence. Absence of equality is tyranny. Absence of hope is war. Absence of justice is life. Absence of death is suffering. And absence of love is darkness. In the end, my question is to you: are you brave enough to read the truth? Thank you.